Alright guys, so day 16 and we're killing it still. It is a Sunday, meant to be a bit of a day of rest. But luckily today we're able to go to the Thai gym. They've got a kind of once-off Sunday session because it was already planned for the Corona kind of training. Because there are so less trainings because we weren't allowed to train at night. The gym had some extra trainings done at Saturdays and Sundays and so forth. So I'll be going to that as well today, training for a good mate of mine. Tomorrow is also good training at 6 o'clock. I think that's one of my favorites. It's really nice. Train at 6 in the morning. But today we've got to go to the gym, and because we're doing a bit more of the gym, there'll be probably a little bit less of the other exercises because the gym sessions do go for about an hour and 20 minutes or so. But I will try to keep it interesting. I'll also show you a bit of food today. I'm going to do some steaks and stuff in the Sous. And just gonna keep rocking it and having a good time. So let's get at it. Okay, as I can't really film in the Thai gym, I'm going to film a little bit more on the bike rides to there, from there, and around there. I'll try to make different routes every time I bike, so that you guys can see different parts of where I live. In the city, and I hope you enjoy this angle, and it keeps the channel fresh. Thanks. So that was kickboxing done, and yeah, good training. Nice on a Sunday morning. Nice to be fresh on a Sunday morning. And what I'm going to show you now is how I cook in a thing called a Sous-vide, which is a water kind of cooker. And I'm going to cook some beef steak, and that I will cut to in a minute. Alright, so what we're going to do today is we're going to cook with the Sous-vide. This is this device here. And basically what it does is with this, it cooks the food in this plastic, and what that allows is it to get very soft, and it removes the possibility of overcooking it. We're going to cook some beef sticks with that. Now the trick is, people say, well, is it bad to cook with plastic? The main plastic you want to get is polyethylene, and if you look at this clip here.
Ever think about these logos on your plastics before? Here's why you should. They tell you what kind of plastic a product is made from, and they're actually the key to becoming a better recycler. Because not all plastics are created equal, and not everything you put in your blue bin actually gets recycled. In fact, plastics number 1 and 2 are recycled significantly more than the other types. Why is that? Because there's someone willing to buy these types of recycled plastic and turn them into something else. Types 1 and 2 are used in products like water bottles, peanut butter jars, shampoo bottles, gallon jugs, and a lot of other things that are parts of our everyday lives. These plastics are more easily sorted and melted into pellets that can be sold to manufacturers. The other plastics, while we still use them and sometimes throw them into the blue bin, are more difficult to recycle and turn back into raw material due to their chemical composition, coloring, or unusual shapes. For these reasons, there's not a large market to recycle these plastics today. So the next time you're at the store, remember that recycling starts there, before you make your purchase. Take a closer look at what you're buying. If it's type 1 or 2, it's more likely that later, as long as we keep filling up our blue bins to kickstart the process, it'll wind up back on store shelves in the form of something new. So the better you know your plastics, the better you can recycle. And that's a good thing.
It showed you how to find out the different types of plastics. So what you want to do is make sure you're using this type of plastic, then you're okay. Other plastics can kind of leach some chemicals into them, and you don't really want that in your food. So what we need to do is we need to first prepare the steaks. So we just grab the steaks we'll be using. As you see here, we have 3 beef sticks, we call them. I'm going to use 1.5, but I'll chop them at the end when we're finished. And I kind of keep it simple. I kind of use some standard salt, some rosemary, a little bit of garlic powder, some pepper, and a little bit of oil, olive oil, always olive oil, as you know. So what we're going to do is, quite simply, we'll just very, very lightly put some olive oil over. Just a little bit like so, don't need much. Just to kind of let the stuff stick, and then to kind of go through and give it that nice little bit of oily taste. So we do that. I'll quickly wipe my hands. And then, quite simply, we'll start with a little bit of knoflook. So, sorry, a little bit of garlic. Knoflook is a Dutch word. A little bit of pepper. So, like so. Okay, then a little bit of salt, not too much, just want a little bit of it. And then we'll end up with some rosemary, and rosemary gives it that kind of little bit of a tangy taste. So, like that. And we'll repeat. All right, and as you see, it's all done. So now what we want to do is we want to grab some plastic, and I'll quickly just chop it up. All right, as you see here, it's chopped up. You want to make it a little bit bigger than what you need, because it's going to compress the air out of it, and it needs a bit of space at the top to be able to do that correctly. What we have here is a little vacuum sealer. So we first put the, if you look here, first put the first side, be careful, it's hot. First side here to seal it up. So, make sure do it the other way around, it's easier. It's going to curl because it's been curled up. Like so. Alright, so good. We just press seal. The light's on. We wait for the light to go off. Have a look. There you go. Right. And as you can see, nicely sealed. All right, so now we can put the steaks in. As you can see, the steaks are in. It's probably way too much here, but I'd rather have too much than too little, or it's not going to vacuum correctly. So to vacuum it out, we just make sure it's inside. Can you see that? So it has to be inside that little thing there. We close it up. Hear the clicks. We make sure we do it as moist, because it's moist food. So we cook there. We do a normal, and then we vacuum seal it, like so. Vacuum sealed. So that will allow no parasites or bacteria to get into it. We fold it up like this, and now we'll go to the sous. All right, so what we want to do is we want to first put the sous in. So there is a min and a max, so make sure the water is always between this. Don't let it go too low, because it needs that water to cool it down, because there is a heating element inside of it. So if you look, steaks are in as so. And then we will fill it up with water up to around here. All right, so as you see, the sous is now with water. We're going to plug that in. And with this steak, beef stick, I'll put it in now. You'll want to do it at 56 degrees. So as you see here, let me just angle it. Okay, we will set it at 56. So it's already 56. I'm just giving you an example. And the time doesn't matter. We're going to eat in 3 hours or 4 hours. So it leaves at least 2 to be quite tender. And it's going to make it very, very tender, because, yeah, it's going to cook the right way through. So we got a time. We just set it to 99. That's no problem. And we set play. And as you see, it is now heating the water up. So it's just basically heating all the water up now. We'll let that run. And, yeah, in a few hours we'll be done with that. So the reason people use this, or restaurants use this, is you can quite easily keep this running for 24, 36, 48 hours. It doesn't matter, because it's airtight. The juices have got nowhere to go, so you can't overcook it. And this means that restaurants can always have very, very tender, very nice, tasty, healthy meat ready to go at a moment's notice. So when someone orders a ribeye or whatever, it doesn't even have to be meat. It can be any kind of thing. It can even be vegetables. Then it's ready to go. So it's a big thing in restaurants. It's what they use to quickly push out high quality meat, cooked very, very well. The other thing you need to do is, before you send it out, you need to sear it. And when it's ready later on tonight, I'll show you how to do that. What I'll do now is I'm going to show you the rice cooker, because we're going to have some rice with this. And that's another thing you can get ready now, and it'll be it can last for up to 24 hours. I definitely advise invest in a rice cooker. I used to cook rice the old way, and it's very, very hard to get right. But with a rice cooker, you're pretty much always guaranteed you've done it right. So let's get on with that now. All right, so I use brown rice. It's the most healthy of rice, and it's what I cook with. I don't see a big taste difference between the others. Some people will swear by white rice or so forth. I don't see the big difference, and if it's healthy, I just go for the brown rice. So what we're going to do is, let me bring you over, is we're going to do, one of these is 2 cups. So a new packet. So we'll put in 4 cups of rice. I think that's going to be enough. First cup. Oh, I think that's probably, no, it's probably too much. I'll do 3 cups, I think. Yeah, that'll be enough. Good thing about this one is you can. I'm not going to do it, but you can actually. You can actually steam with this. So if you want, you can put a little thing on here, and you can actually steam your vegetables as you cook them. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to put in. How much do we need? We need to bring it up to here. You'll see. I don't know if you can actually see that. Let me just grab some light for you. Alright. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there are some rivets there. So we're going to get that up to 2. We're going, okay, look, you can't really see that, but there are some rivets there to tell you how much water to put in. We're going to get that up to 2.5. So let me just put the light on here so I can see better. And then we'll just fill that up. A little bit more. Well, there we go. Okay, we're good to go. I'll close that off. We'll set it to cook. See here, it's a little cook button. We'll turn it on. And that's it. And that's why a rice cooker is such a good invention, good investment, because it's just so easy to use and you're always going to get perfect rice. We're going to have, what do you call it? Asparagus with this, and we're going to have some peas and carrots, which is really nice to mix it up with, and a little bit of sauce. So we'll cut back to that when it's all done, which will be in about 4 hours. You don't have to wait around. We'll skip over the next 4 hours so that we just... Alright, so we're about 4 hours ahead now, and we're ready to cook the rest. So the first thing we want to do is the asparagus. Yeah, I love asparagus. Actually, a good fact about it was fishermen used to eat it in order to catch fish, because when they peed in the water, the fish are attracted to some of the chemicals that are found in asparagus, and they would come to it and they would get better fish from it. Another thing is, whilst we all secrete a certain enzyme when we pee with this stuff, only 25% of us can actually smell it. So if you smell it funny when you pee, then you're one of those 25%. But a great, delicious thing. What I do is, when I'm getting it, I will... where are the sticks? Just turn this down, and I will make sure to cut off the ends. This bit here, it gets too hard and you're not going to be able to really cook it properly. So just chop it off, like so. And take the bands off, and we put it into the pan. We give it a very healthy amount of oil, like so. And then, which really brings out the taste, is salt and pepper. So, put some salt on. Sorry, some pepper. Some regular pepper. And some salt. Alright. And then, we put the lid on it. We let it steam. You'll see here, we also have some peas and, whoa, shouldn't do that too much. Peas and carrots cooking. Let me just clean that up. Alright, next time I'll just carry it over. There we go. So then the tricks of the trade, and we'll let that go for now. And that's just a bit of water, and we'll focus back on here. Now, we move towards here. You'll see, and I'll just focus up on that. Alright, you'll see that we have now the sauce, and it's been cooking for a while. That's all done, so we're now going to basically disconnect that. We'll turn it around, and we will disconnect it here at the power. Alright, and take it out. Just let it drain. It's a bit hot, so be careful of it. Alright. Alright, and we will take this bag out of here. And you can see, nicely cooked. So we'll put it on the board here. Just push that down. There we go. Okay, let's zoom in on that. Oh, can't zoom in on that angle. And then we're going to Well, first we make sure that the asparagus is going good. So we will stir that up a bit. And you want to make sure that goes until it kind of becomes a bit black. That's what you want with the asparagus. And then we're going to chop this up and open it. First thing is chop it a little bit and drain all the juices out. And open the rest up, just rip it open, and then let it here to sit. Oh, that looks really, really nice. And that's going to be cooked all the way through. That's been like 4 hours now. And what's really important is to mop it up, to make it dry. You don't want it to be wet when it goes onto the pan, because we're going to sear it so that the outside is cooked. So let's just mop it up there. And the paper, just some paper towels will do a trick. All right, and just let it sit 5 minutes. That's all. Let it settle down. Now, while we're doing that, let's make sure this guy's going okay. We turn it down a little bit now. Yeah, going very, very good, as you can see. Gotta love asparagus. One of my favorite things. I eat it at least 2 or 3 times a week. Now, we're going to cook a little bit of sauce up. So what we can do is we move this over. Never enough space in the kitchen. And then we can let this sit here. So this is all cooked. We just let it sit here. And then put another little pan. And then we've got some spinach ricotta cheese. Sauce, sorry, that we're going to put in. And we're just going to put that a little bit over the rice, so we have a bit of taste on the rice. So put that in like so. Let's scrape it all out, because my wife loves it and so do I. So we want to make sure we get it all out. Okay. There we have it. And we're just going to basically spin around. We're just going to have that roughly at about 100 is enough. Slowly kind of do it, you know, mix it up a bit, just so it gets hot. You know, we don't need to cook it or anything, just need it to get hot. Now, these guys, we're going to put this up a little bit. We're nearly ready for the steaks. If we have a look, we can see here the rice. So let's have a look around here. And you can see the rice is all ready and to go. Very nicely done, cooked to perfection. That's the advantage you're going to get with a rice cooker. So you can see here, he actually flips up to warming. And that can warm for 24 hours, no problem. So a lot of companies use that to warm it up and just leave it there when they're ready to use it. Let's put him back here. Okay, move this up a bit. Like so. Okay, now this is cooked. When he's bubbling like that, he's cooked, ready to go. So we're nearly at the end final phase. We're going to cook that here, move it to the side a bit. These are ready. And we will bring the steaks. There we go. We're just searing the steaks. We're only going to be like 2 or 3 minutes with the steaks. Not very long at all. We'll move that over here. Whoop, clean up a little bit here. So, alright, we'll get the plates ready. Okay. Flip those steaks. You see, just so they're seared, you see how they're a bit harder on the outside. You don't want to cook them too long. Definitely do not want to cook them too long, or there's no point in what we've done all day with the sous. So 1 or 2 minutes on that. Peas ready. Let's turn that off. Turn it off. Oh. Okay. And it's done. Okay. Do one here. One here. Asparagus here. Like so. Bit of presentation is always nice. We will, as we're sharing, we will chop the last one up. Let's see. Hard to get a hold of that. Let me get a fork. Do that with the fork. There we go. See, you see, look at that. Cooked perfectly. Put that there. Push this piece here. Get a spoon. Spoon some veggies. Always good to have some fresh vegetables. And then make some space. We will finish it up. Bit of rice. So, and some rice here. Oh, try not to make a mess. And then we will drizzle some sauce over it, just to give the rice a bit of taste. There we go. So, now let me put some light on that. And voila. Now it's time to eat. And that was today's episode. I hope you liked it. Sorry it went quite long, but I did get quite enthusiastic about the cooking today. I like to focus a little bit on the cooking if I'm cooking something nice. Don't usually do that during the week. So if you stuck through to the end, thanks. I hope you enjoyed it. And tomorrow, no breakfast anymore for the next 2 weeks. I will be fasting. I've changed the time. It's going to be from 12 till 8. So only between 12 and 8 am I able to eat. The rest of the time there will be no eating. So let's see how that goes, and I'll be giving updates on how I feel about that. Alright guys, so stay strong and till tomorrow.